You also mentioned that the album came out on the same day as Drake.
Yeah, the TikTok album came out on September 3rd.
And that's the same. Is that the same day Kanye came out?
No, Kanye came out of what? 2 weeks earlier.
2 weeks earlier. Okay, but
2 weeks earlier.
for sure.
Donda. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to listen to either one of those?
Yeah, I listened to both of them.
What's your honest opinion of them?
I fell asleep on Kanye album because I just ain't no big Jesus nigga like that. Jesus is a motherfucking tool that's been keeping niggas enslaved like a motherfucker since we got here. White folks stole everything about a nigga, his intellect, his culture, even our quote unquote religion, our belief system, ate it up, regurgitated and gave it back to us in their own image and been using it to enslave niggas and entrap niggas for the longest. So it was only, only so much. I fell asleep on it. And Drake shit, it was
typical.
Yeah, it was usual Drake. It's some. The more what I will say, I gave Drake album more of a chance than I gave Kanye album, because Drake is. I'm a worldly nigga. Drake is a little more worldly, and the more I hear his shit, the more I'm like, okay. Because when I go to the gym, I go to Musclehead's gym in Third Ward on Emancipation, and like the last couple weeks, more than not, they in there jamming that Drake, and I'm hearing it and I'm digesting. I'm like, okay, because when I initially pulled it up, I had a full day, but I was like, man, let me check this Drake out. So I really wasn't in tune and wasn't tuned in. I was listening, but I was tired. I was listening with tired ears. But when I listened to it with, Drake gonna give you Drake, man. He gonna give you some good songs like a mother. Drake he's a phenomenal artist. You can't take nothing away from him. Kanye a phenomenal artist, except. Yeah, but I'm not mad at Kanye, because one thing I love about Kanye is probably the only artist in hip hop who's really, really not afraid to push the envelope and step outside of what everybody doing, step outside his comfort zone, try something new, be it successful or unsuccessful. He gonna push the culture forward. Like Kanye is really one of the only staples that every time he come out, he's coming out with a different sound, a different look, he's never gonna give you the same Kanye. And you gotta respect that about him. You know what I'm saying? Matters what you think about the music or think about him personally, but when it comes to what he does, he's always trying to push it forward and move it forward. And I can respect that.
For sure.
I definitely can respect that about him.
Yeah. If Kanye,
but I'm really waiting for that K-Dot album. That's what I'm waiting for. Though. That's what I'm waiting for. Because he like Kanye. He like Kanye. He gonna try shit and he gonna do shit and he gonna move forward. Like, you go listen to every motherfucking Kendrick Lamar album. No album sounds alike. It's not conceptualized alike. It's not. He's always on some other shit.
Sure. If Kanye West was to do a versus battle, who do you think would be the best person to go against Kanye West?
Drake.
You think so?
Yeah. Because of the ongoing feud, not because of how they match up, but they match up good musically, nigga. Cause I was, the first four Kanyes and the first three Drakes, all are great albums. Like they Kanye all the way up to My Beautiful Dick Twisted Fantasy, and Drake all the way up to he had. Thank Me Now, Thank Me Later, Take Care, and Nothing Was the Same. I fucked with all them albums. But he had some jams on. Drake had some jams after that, but them first three albums I fucks with. Except for a couple of the singing joints. But Kanye all the way up to My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy, he couldn't miss, my nigga. And nigga, to get both of them on the stage with all the monkey shit, them niggas, that'd be a beautiful sight. And to tell honest to God truth, I haven't watched one Verzuz, my nigga.
Not one?
Not one, my nigga.
I never watched a full one. I never watched the full one until like Like
I ain't watching.
yeah.
Everybody hot at they mad at Fat Joe from what it seemed like. Fat Joe called Lil Mo and Vita some old dusty bitches last night. What they say? He apologized. He apologized.
Hey.
He called some old dusty bitches, nigga. I guess it's better to be called a fucking bitch. I ain't watched one Verzuz, man. I'm a counterculture type nigga. I see that Diddy say that he ain't gonna battle nobody but Dre on a Verzuz. I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
That'll be definitely good. I don't know like if they gonna do all they catalog of shit that they produce for other people or shit, but that'll be super big for the culture. And but that Locks, I didn't watch it, but the hype that the Locks and Dipset generated, man, it was a beautiful thing. It was a win for hip hop like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I think definitely the locks go down as Jadakiss go down as the greatest, I think, versus battle. I think they brought that, and I feel like Gucci and
that's kind of like Kanye and Drake to see Gucci and Jeezy on the stage together.
They've been waiting for that.
Yeah, and to see if you get Kanye and Drake, which you probably never will, because you got to deal with Kanye going off on a 20-minute motherfucking rant about whatever the fuck come across his mind. You got to worry about if the nigga took his medication or not. Like a motherfucker.
So, man. Shout out to Lil Mo and Vita, man.
Yeah, like a motherfucker, man. Shout out to Fat Joe too. I think
I fuck with
because he apologized like a motherfucker.
That's how them niggas be though. If you were to do a versus battle, who you think would be the best person to go against you?
Man, I ain't nobody, my nigga.
Oh, come on, man.
I ainn nobody, my nigga. I ain't gonna even answer that question because I haven't even gone at that type of. Trust me, man. I would love to be considered in that type of. But I made a bunch of fucked up, and I had action like. I was fucking with, shout out to OG Dewey with Rap a Lot,
Source Magazine.
Yeah, I was unsigned hype. I was unsigned hype in Source Magazine. But, I was really a street nigga, my nigga. Like a lot of these niggas, but I was really in these streets, been in them my whole life. And that shit took me away and, but I ain't to that point, my nigga. I rap my ass off and if you go Google and check out all my shit, man, I make great music. But, for the recognition of the people, I ain't to that point, my nigga. And I'm not one to try to say that I'm above the fray or I judge myself as harshly and as critical as I judge everybody else, my nigga. And I ain't nowhere to that point. If I ain't even in no versus conversation, my nigga, and I ain't gonna even I ain't gonna do that, my nigga.
I feel you.
All right, you got a lot of niggas who will sit out, but I ain't. Hey, man, real is real, my nigga. Ain't nobody tuning in to watch SMACKWATER versus a motherfucking thing.
Okay, but listen.